But our foundation is definitely in the magazine, and it's going to help me talk about this week's edition and next week's edition. Hey, the lovely Brittany Langmeyer. Rappn Tate the Great, man. I mean, this brother was born in Memphis and raised in Brooklyn and Chicago. One of the first rappers to rap with a live band in Chicago. My man goes way back. He's also about the kids and the kids' future. Welcome to StreetWise StreetScene, Rappn Tate the Great.
Yes,
What's
sir.
up, Daddy?
What's going on, Greg? Hey, man, StreetWise for life, baby.
For sure. Y'all hear that? StreetWise for life.
Right there,
One
2343.
One StreetWise, always StreetWise.
Yes,
man,
sir.
you know what? I'm really happy to have you on the show, man, because
yes, sir.
a lot of people don't know how many people have actually come through the ranks of StreetWise, you know, and StreetWise has been there for them during their periods in need. You know what I'm saying? And the situations can happen to anybody. Like we talking about, you don't have to be homeless to sell StreetWise. You can be just out of a job and looking for a job and want a job opportunity. The StreetWise has definitely played a very important part in Rappn Tate's life. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, first rappers in Chicago. Let's start with that, man. That's going way back. First rappers in Chicago to rap with a live band. Let's talk about that, man.
Well, you know, I was about 15 years of age, and I was going to Paul Robeson High School at the time, and I was given an opportunity by Toma Records, which is my foster father that taken me in for foster care, named Sax Preacher, and he took me in and gave me the opportunity to learn the business of music and to be able to learn what it's like to be an artist. So I was playing a trombone already, and I already knew about the 7 scales, the dramatic and chromatic scales and things, and he took it from there, and we escalated and said, we're going to make you the first artist, rapper actually out there rapping with a band. And so from there, I performed with Energy, Time, and Space from our label, Toma Records, and then I went on to perform with the Platinum Band, which was a old school group, a guy by the name of Tyrone Davis, may he rest in peace. But that band, they particularly played behind me, and Dean Goldberg of Chicago Park District, we toured all the parks and things doing that.
Yeah, Chicago Park District, and you actually went around the Park District. I know I met you when I was doing shows with Buddy Miles.
Buddy Miles,
That's right. That's right.
That was in Gary, Indiana, at Hot Nut. I think it was called Hot Grove, Nut Grove, something like that.
I know it's a big
Roosevelt
festival
High
out
School
there.
in Gary, yeah.
And on the bill with us, I mean, you was on the bill. The Dramatics was on the bill. There's a lot of different people and groups on that bill, and that's when we first met.
Yes.
I mean, you go back to the days of a lot of the guys that started. What's the man? Fast Eddie.
Oh yeah, Fast Eddie, Kurok Steady, may he rest in peace. Pink House,
right.
who
Pink House.
started at KKC and then went on to 106 Jam, and his dream was to get the GCI, and he finally made it there. Yeah.
That's right, my brother Disco Dave.
Disco Dave, all your support. Yeah, him and
can't
Ramonski
forget about Deli Dale,
right.
the hip hop
the hip hop shell. But he's the first guy that made the promotion happen and get down, along with Gus Redman from back in the day. Yeah,
and Gus Redman used to be my manager too, man. That's back in the day, man.
And Helen Wooten too. Don't forget her, because she bust open the brat.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. All right. So the Park District, you got that work. You know, back then it was about house music. You know, definitely. I'm from Mendel, and we was definitely about the house music, and the stuff I was doing was like hip house in a way.
Right.
But you stuck with the hip hop, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, I came in from Brooklyn, been in foster care, and been on the Toma Records, and I set the pave of rapping on they have never seen a band or a group playing with a 626 drum machine. At that time was my buddy Shunny G, and we bust on rapping on State Street. That's before they made you have vendor licenses.
Okay.
And I was still in high school, and we used to rap about people. Then we bust on the trains, along with a lot of Chicago artists. But then I was schooled because there was the Zulu Nation and a guy by the name of Lord Cassius D, along with Shaka. These guys, they break dance on skates and things, and I was schooled by that. We was thinking that the South Side was the first to originate hip hop, but when we found out Lord Cassius, who had been putting it down with the Zulu Nation with Africa Bambaataa from out of New York, right? I was schooled that I wasn't the first hip hop artist, but they was the first of the 70s.
Right.
And so we came in like the late 80s, 90s, you know what I mean? Making the wave and coming off the South Side of everything.
Message rap, you know, compared to ones that's talking just to be talking. You know, one of the things I really truly respect about you, man, is you gave back with the message rap to the kids and combined it rap and teaching kids how to read. You know, so you looked at it like if they like rap, and we're trying to help them learn how to read, we need to combine those two together. And you were well known in the public school system. Let's talk about that, man.
Well, first of all, I like to give all praises to God, which in Arabic means Allah, and which means in English, and to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because I was dead after being exhausted for 18 years, going after our children and people in the community. I'd like to thank Danny K. Davis, too, because I know he sits on the board at StreetWise, and he gave me an initiative opportunity and wrote letters on my behalf to be able to go through some of the school systems and work in the district. But if it hadn't been for the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan, right now, today, I've been an ex. They call me Brother Tate X. I got my ex a year ago out on the East Coast. But he said something to me that woke me up about the story of Moses and Prophet Muhammad. And he was talking about how Moses had a speech impediment, and which I remember reading that in the Bible a whole lot, you know, because in the nation they reads the Bible. And then he said about Prophet Muhammad how God spoke to him and said, "Ikra, read in the name of thy Lord." And it woke me up and spun me. And it just got me back to resurrecting, to go back after our people. So I had went homeless within the last 5 years. I've been back. I was homeless, and because I exhausted myself, didn't have no more monies and funds, no more support from anyone, and it was until a year ago, Minister Farrakhan spoke in my life, and my life got back up. And StreetWise giving me an opportunity, Jim, everybody believing in me, and I just want to thank you. I want to thank StreetWise. I want to thank everybody that give vendors who have talent an opportunity, because people don't know that we go through a whole lot as vendors, but they don't know that we have a talent. Even back in the day when
That's
Anthony
right.
Oliver gave me an opportunity, and I had went homeless one time before that, and then it was StreetWise that helped me get my Section 8 with Chicago Housing Authority. So I mean, I'm just grateful to God and thankful to God for making a way out of no way and making it possible for things to happen. So I'm so grateful and so thankful to this day, because if it hadn't been for StreetWise on the first round, I probably wouldn't even be able to have an opportunity to voice what I'm doing now. And it was the vendor's paper where I made headlines in the paper, and I was at Thomas Chalmers in performing, and Anthony Oliver had given me the chance to perform a StreetWise rap when we was on Michigan. That was where our first headquarters was at. And then we went on Wabash in the Hut. But it was there where my opportunity started, and I just want to thank StreetWise from the bottom of my heart for this opportunity to be here today. And I'm praying and hoping. Matthew 5:16 said, "Let your light so shine before others, so they see the works of God in you, that they come glorify God and not me." And I'm praying that people can see StreetWise differently, see us, the new initiative that we are, the dream that I had, adding to the music component side of things, and with StreetWise. So I'm happy to be back. I'm thanking StreetWise for what they're doing. My vendor number is 2343. You may catch me every once in a while around the city with some papers and all that good stuff, because that's what it's about.
That's what's happening, man. And some of the music you got going out right now, man, we talking about, message rap, putting out there with a message, man. And let's talk about the one track you got going on now. This is a call-in show, man.
Oh, okay.
Also, because we
Yes,
want to
sir.
get out there. We got a lot of time. We with you, we got a lot to cover. We do have a call-in show, but this right here, man. What inspired this song right here? They killed our leaders.
Well, my little brother was murdered. I wasn't raised with him, but I did get a chance to meet him some years ago in '98. And he would have been 25 as of February 2013. He was an identical twin. He had an identical twin, and he was murdered 3 years ago, given his life in Kentucky. He was working for a traveling construction company, and what happened was he saw a guy pull out a gun, a .38, and about to shoot a child, a mother, and the babies. And he ran over without thinking, and standing about 6'4", and put his hand on the barrel of the gun and pleaded with the guy not to kill the lady and the children. And the next thing that you know, the guy walked away, came back and shot him in the knees, and took the back of the .38 and printed in his face and shot him in the side. And after that, last year when I was killing on the East Coast, Harlem and Wilmington, Delaware, where I reside at as well, but I'm here in Chicago. My home is because of my family, but back and forth and things, and hearing the 600 killings and then the 80-some killings this year with the 17 just recently happening. This is what caused me to create the song "They Killed Our Leaders," to reflect on what happened to the assassination of our leaders last year, and looking at the young people that's conspirated upon and that's assassinating each other with all this blood in the streets in Chicago as of now.
So what do you think we need to do as a city, man, you know, as far as coming together for our children, because, you know, they are our future. You know, what's it going to take, man?
Well, first of all, I would love to see some of the elders and people like Danny K. Davis and Congressman Davis and other great leaders to come together, and we really, truly, we went, I've been in the hip-hop game 18 years, and I toured 386 of Chicago public schools using hip-hop and literacy. I don't think people really understood why I exhausted myself doing it, but it started when I was a music instructor hired by the Chicago Park District with Dean Goldberg. And so the solution is that we really need to come away from the politics of things and really engage in becoming more people's persons and working together with credibility names that really have an association with the community, like myself and many others, like yourself and others out there, because what's happening is the people are not entrusting politics or anything like they once used to.
Hey man, how was StreetWise really effective in your life, man? Let's talk about that, man.
Man, you know, I'm like Russell. StreetWise, you know, after being exhausted, man, doing the Chicago public schools and hitting the streets, and on the last round, really did it. And I had went homeless and didn't have an apartment, anything, man. And Anthony Oliver gave me a big opportunity and a chance when he was here at StreetWise. And he allowed me to be able to engage by using my talents. And I was rapping. I had made a rap. Matter of fact, I made a rap song about StreetWise. It was called a freestyle brainstorm rap, but it was one that I memorized and did. And when I did that, I got a lot of notoriety. So after that, Anthony wanted to know if whatever school I'm gonna do where young people was homeless, because I was telling them that there was children that was being homeless in Chicago public school system that didn't have shoes, didn't have uniforms. And so I did Thomas Chalmers Elementary School that was on probation with standardized testing, because that was how it all started. And then they came out and did a big write-up. And after that write-up, man, I ended up eventually start getting shows, and then StreetWise helped me at the end of the day get a housing from Chicago Housing Authority, make sure that I was able to have a place to be able to sleep. And StreetWise has been good to me, and StreetWise is definitely a great place to start for anybody. I don't care, like they say, even if you like the couple that you just saw in the magazine, the cover of the magazine, they may didn't have much, they home burned, but they was able to still come in and find social services. And we just love Brittany, we love Jim, we love everybody on count. We love you, Greg, for making sure that we get papers when we don't have them on credit and bono, but we still pay for our papers at the end of the day.
You're working on a lot of projects, man. You know, one thing about you, you know, you give back, man, and that's what you're about. You're about helping the kids, because you believe that they are our future. And you got some projects in the works. Let's talk about the single that killed our leaders. Can we talk about that?
Oh yeah, the single "Kill Our Leaders" based. One reason that's a non-violence album. We hope to release. I hope to release and do a release party sometime this coming year. It's dedicated to all young people under 20, at the age 25 and under that has been. There's some kind of conspiration of assassination going on with inner city youth for some apparent reason.
We got to stop the violence.
And then even in the schools and all over, as you've seen throughout Connecticut and different places. So I have a real, very means of concern. So as a hip-hop artist, not rap artist, but a hip-hop artist, we're trying to use rap music as influence to engage and uplift young people and betterment.
And you know, I promise we're going to get that video on. They killed our leaders, man. We tried to get it on last week. We definitely going to get it on, because I believe Chicago should really check that out, man.
Thank you.
They killed our leaders. It's got a strong message to it, man. So what are some of the things you got in the works?
Well, basically, one of the things is that we have been talking with Brittany and talking to a couple people. One of my dreams have been at StreetWise was to always create an album. First of all, I have a children's album that I would like to sit and present to StreetWise, and it's a children album dedicated to young people to be able to read and want to continue to read and do well on standardized testing. And because StreetWise, I found out that there's a lot of youth that don't understand StreetWise. They never really recognize and have a comprehension of it. So I'm thinking that if we could take this children album we have, and promote StreetWise and get a newspaper to every child's hand, I think this would be hot. This would be fun to have every children around the city of Chicago hollering StreetWise, StreetWise. You know, like back in the day when they say extra, extra. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And then another piece thing I'm working on is a United American Progress Association, which is headed by Dr. Evans. It's a program where I truly believe in, where it gives young people who don't have no summer jobs, don't have no place to go, don't know where to interact at, and this will give them an opportunity to be able to do some things. So if parents looking for jobs and can't find a summer job for your child, you should call Dr. Evans or at 773-268-1873.
Get that number again.
It's the number is 773-268-1873, and I am the youth spokesman for life skills and entrepreneur for the organization, United American Progress and Association. And my foster father, who raised me out of my record label, sax preacher, he's also an associate with it. But it's all about, also I want to let everybody know about the StreetWise thing as well.
All right, hey, we want to thank KNT for giving us opportunity today. I want to thank my guest, Russell Adams, my girl, Brittany, and, of course, Rappn Tate the Great.
Street
One
life.
of the first rappers in Chicago to rap with the live band. Hey, Chicago, until next week, stay focused, keep it real, stay streetwise.
StreetWise for life.
For life. See you, Chicago.